Okay, this is lesson 7 of decision making in terms of the AS part of the new AQA course. And here we're going to have a look at stakeholders, and a stakeholder is anybody who has an interest in the firm. So what teachers normally do is they get you to draw a circle on and you make lines coming out of here: customers, employees, competitors, owners, shareholders, local community, government, suppliers. Okay, so they all have an interest in the firm, and there's a thing called a stakeholder theory, which is that you must look after all the different stakeholders to be successful. Now, the antithesis of that, or the opposite of that, not the opposite, but something that's different, is called the shareholder theory. Now, this was put forward by someone called Friedman, and he suggested that firms should just be concerned about looking after their shareholders. If you look after their shareholders, make profits, and to make profits, you have to produce good products, you have to look after your suppliers, you have to get high productivity from your workers, and by doing all those things, naturally, you'll be looking after everybody. And then you just do that. You don't need to worry about anything else. But some firms have built a whole policy based around their idea of corporate social responsibility and creating a better world. Now, the reason why that maybe is better, because your employees will want to come and work for your firm because you're doing something that's good, so that may align with their values. So this is the shareholder value theory. Now, the next stage of all of this is that there's obviously going to be conflict between some of these shareholders. Most noticeably when you are producing chemicals and you're upsetting the local community because you're pouring the chemicals into the water. So if you look after the water and you clean the water, that means your costs are going to go up, and that's going to cost your firm more money. So there is a natural conflict here between the different stakeholders that examiners like you to talk about. There's also this map on here, stakeholder mapping. It's the first time I've ever seen it. It's not bad, pretty simple. Low, high power, low, high interest. So if your people have a high level of interest and a high level of power, then you need to engage with those stakeholders closely. Now, it's quite likely to be, obviously, that the shareholders will be quite strong in terms of your firm. So therefore, you will need to look after them. Just a quick word on here. Obviously, some firms have built a whole policy as part of their strategies to have a corporate socially responsible strategy. Now, they have that strategy, and because they have that strategy, therefore all stakeholders are important to them, e.g. with the body shop. And what I was trying to tell to my students is often, obviously, that they're very keen on looking after their suppliers on here. And if they pay their suppliers higher wages, that's going to cost them more money, so therefore their profits go down. However, if you really look after your suppliers, your suppliers may come up with many of the ideas which will actually improve your firm, particularly in the case of the body shop, because they're into producing new sorts of products that are ethically sourced. So that always needn't be the case. You may be looking after them, it may actually save you money by looking after them. Okay, but stakeholders is a very important concept in business studies, and obviously right now, as just I'm talking, the big one is Volkswagen. So all teachers all over the UK will teach them about Volkswagen and how they lie to their customers in terms of their carbon emissions from their diesel engines. Okay, because they try to build a brand about being sustainable and green, and so therefore their brand's been hit, so therefore they're going to be in big problems for that, because maybe their culture is all about making more and more money. Okay, so that's stakeholder value theory done.